Hey, tell me if you've heard this before. The truth is, all might be free if they valued freedom and defended it as they ought. Sounds familiar? It's a pundit on CNN, MSNBC, or Fox weighing in on the latest outrage, right? Actually, that was Samuel Adams, one of America's founding fathers. The founders knew something about threats to freedom and democracy, and they had a warning for us that's relevant today as it was back then. It's almost like they could see into the future. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this that take you behind the times. Sam Adams was John Adams' radical cousin from Boston. He wrote those words at a time when American colonists felt they were fighting for their freedom. The British had just sent troops to Boston to put down growing colonial resistance to British rule. Adams was part of that resistance. He helped organize the Boston Tea Party. Adams was deeply concerned about the preservation of liberty and the need for a vigilant citizenry to resist those who would take away their freedoms. He and his contemporaries, who remembered what it was like before American independence, saw future threats to liberty with shocking clarity. They knew human nature and how easily power could be abused. That's why they created a country where laws, not men, ruled, designed to protect us, not just from kings, but from ourselves. The founders knew exactly what freedom meant. They called it liberty, and every person, well, almost every person, was entitled to it. It's the freedom to think what we want, say what we want, go where we want, live how we want. How do we know? It's right at the top of the Declaration of Independence. You might call it our country's mission statement.
We hold these truths to be self evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Where did Jefferson and the founders get the idea of what liberty was? A lot of it came from English Enlightenment philosopher John Locke. Jefferson's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was almost word for word borrowed from Locke. They also borrowed his idea that a social contract between the government and the people guaranteed those rights, and that a government's legitimacy required the consent of the people. These ideas were a big deal at a time when most of the world was ruled by monarchs claiming they only answered to God. How, after a bloody, nearly decade-long revolution, could Americans even think of giving up their newly won rights without a fight? Alexander Hamilton warned people might fall under the spell of a demagogue who'd say anything in his pursuit of power, or after a time they might just take their liberty for granted.
History will teach us that, of those men who have overturned the liberties of republics, the greatest number have begun their career by paying an obsequious court to the people, commencing demagogues and ending tyrants.
Benjamin Franklin was alert to the danger. He warned us that there'd be among the people those who think giving up a little bit of freedom to feel safer wouldn't be a big deal.
Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
A good education at the time of the founding included the study of ancient Rome and Greece. Those studies provided the founders with lessons about democracy, republicanism, civic virtue, and the dangers of unchecked power. James Madison, who helped write the Constitution, benefited from those lessons.
If men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were to govern men, neither external nor internal controls on government would be necessary.
Madison's solution? There'd be no king to reign over the new government. It would have three branches, each capable of checking the others, our famous checks and balances. It would protect us from tyranny.
The accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary in the same hands, whether of one, a few, or many, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny.
To the founding generation, this wasn't just a theory. It was exactly what they had accused King George III of doing in the Declaration of Independence, a long list of abuses of power against the people, for his own benefit, at the cost of their freedom. The founders never felt safe from tyranny. Even after they won the revolution, even after they wrote the Constitution, tyranny was a weed that could sprout at any time, anywhere. George Washington, the first president, especially worried about what would happen after he left office.
The alternate domination of one faction over another is itself a frightful despotism, but this leads at length to a more formal and permanent despotism.
John Adams worried everyday Americans might not be up to the task. Not exactly an admirer of common folk, Adams worried a poorly informed public might surrender the freedoms he and his fellow founders fought for.
Liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people.
He stressed that we, the people, are the ultimate guardians of our freedom. The best way to protect our freedoms, he thought, was by exercising them constantly.
Posterity. You will never know how much it cost the present generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make a good use of it.
The wisdom of these founders still resonates so strongly today. Their warnings about too much power, demagogues, and an uninformed public are just as relevant now as they were back then. Perhaps we too often take our freedom for granted. As Franklin famously put it, we have a republic, if we can keep it. That job, it turns out, is still up to us. So what do you think is the biggest challenge to our freedom today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this dive into history valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more journeys into the past, and make sure you tap the notification bell. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.